Today I'm making German potato dumplings, very similar to gnocchi, but it has way more potato in it, which makes it the texture is gonna be different compared to gnocchi. And I'm also making a side of liver onion, which is so simple to make. I just slice my onion really thinly. I actually use the Japanese slicer, so it's super thin. Putting this into oil, I'm gonna use calf liver. This is sliced thinly, and I'm just gonna chop it off in little pieces. Nothing special to that, just liver, chop it up. You can also use chicken. Boiling 5 potatoes with the skin on, and here's my onion getting a little golden brown. I don't want it to be like too golden brown. It's still gonna release flavor and cook while the liver is cooking too, and it's just gonna become one all together. There you go. Okay, for the dumplings, 1 cup of flour, a big pinch of salt, and then nutmeg. That's the secret ingredient. I have one in here that's already shredded, and I'm just gonna shred in some nutmeg. You can also use powdered. I'm adding about like 2 big pinches. There's no like specific recipe for this, like how much you have to add. Kind of just eyeball it, and yeah, just 2 big pinch is about right. My liver and onions are getting there. See, the onion basically disappeared because it was so thin. Perfect. This is a potato ricer. I just find this easier to mash my potatoes. That's gonna be on the side. I'm gonna add 2 eggs into the 1 cup ratio of flour. 1 egg, just kind of mixing it in together first, and then the second egg. And there you go. Mix. And the more eggs you add, the more yellow it's gonna be. So if you want it to be even more yellow, flavorful, because it does add flavors just like in pasta, you can also add a 3rd egg yolk, just the yolk, because we don't want it to be too wet. And look how fast this ricer mashing up my potatoes. I love it so much. I'm just gonna mix it a little bit just so that it can start to absorb the flour. But I ended up adding like all the 5 potatoes, and I think that was a perfect ratio. Now, German potato dumplings are much more softer, which makes it seem a little bit slimy. Like it's just gonna be like really soft on the inside once you start eating it. And that is something you're also gonna notice if you go to Germany. So don't be scared, because that's just how the texture is gonna be with the small amount of flour that we're adding to these dumplings. And here's all the potatoes. It's gonna be sticky, but it should not stick to your finger. Here's some flour on my surface and also flouring my hand, and I'm gonna take a little bit of chunk, and then I'm gonna start shaping it and see if I took out too much chunk. I did take out too much chunk, so I just need a little bit less of it, and then just roll it between my hands and roll it into a little log. You can make this in advance like I did, or you can do it right before dumping it into your hot water. I just made it in advance, so I don't have to like stand next to it the whole time. So I just made most of it in advance. And here's my almost boiling water. I'm adding some salt. Over here, my liver is done, and I'm dumping a few pieces of the dumplings into the boiling water and let it rise to the top. When it rises, it's ready, but the cooking time is not done yet, because then we're gonna transfer this into a smaller pan with hot oil, where I'm gonna fry it on each side until it's golden brown. This will take a few minutes. You just want to make sure that both sides are nicely golden brown and not burn it, because that will be very terrible tasting. So I think it's time for me to flip them over and then just cook it again on the other side, and then it's done. It's so easy to make. I mean, this is the ultimate budget meal. One pack of liver is like $4, and you can have it between two people, and the dumplings will cost you maybe $2 for total. So super cheap, super easy to make, and really, really delicious.